In private, winners aren't obsessing over tips and tricks and the latest shiny objects. They're obsessing over what it really takes to win, what the real truth is behind winning, what the ultimate cost is. They're talking about the pain they have gone through. They're talking about their deep obsession with mastery. They're talking about their dark thoughts that fuel them, the sacrifices they've taken that nobody else would dare to take, the hell they've had to walk through to get to their position right now, and what else can be done to take them to that next level. Like, if you want to be the best in your field, no matter what niche or industry you're in, you have to become obsessed with winners. It doesn't matter whether you're looking at businessmen, whether you're looking at athletes, whether you're just looking at guys who have mastered life. They're in elite shape. They got a good mindset. They got the best shape. They're living with complete autonomy. You have to be obsessed with adopting their syntax, their mental syntax, their belief systems, their physiology, their habits, how they operate, their worldviews. And that's exactly what I've done. Now, I've already built, by the age of 25, 2 7-figure offers in my coaching consultancy business. I've helped many of my clients scale as well to 6 and 7 figures with their own businesses. I've helped thousands of guys now build an elite physique, leave their 9 to 5, completely transform their life. I've also been blessed with working with some of the best businessmen, coaches, consultants in the space. Now I've spent multiple hundreds of thousands back into working with guys who have done hundreds of million revenue, billion in revenue. And I just obsess over how they think. Some people have mentioned to me before, Tom, you've spent 15,000 on a 25-minute call. Why would you do that? And the conversation was a very simple one. But it allowed me to simply just understand how they think. And when I plug and play that and just adopt exactly the truth they said, it's infinite results. And also, I've been away from my hometown now for many years. I'm not stuck in that small mindset of losers, of bots. I've been living in Dubai. I've been living in Bali. I've been able to travel the whole world. And I've had infinite amounts now of conversations with elite performers, plus the guys who are in my programs who are doing 6 figures, 7 figures, 8-figure guys in my programs, whether they're in my elite or in my brand. And this is what it takes. You have to become obsessed with what is required to win. This is applicable for absolutely anybody. I have broken down in this video, guys, everything which is going to hit you like a sack of bricks, the real truth behind winning, because there's so much fluff. There's so many simple steps to win, when in reality, I just want to show you what it really takes. And curiosity is one of the biggest things. I'm going to give to you a large amount of what I've learned from winning myself and helping others win. And the real thing is, winners never think they've won. I've achieved 10x my forever goals, and now I'm only 1% into my new journey. And that's one trait in itself. But let's get stuck in, guys. So the first thing about winning is that winning is life. There is no real fulfillment in life without purpose and winning, right? Just if you're like, life's hard, guys, right? Life is going to be extremely hard every single day. So you can either go down the path of life being very hard every day. You're going to be stressed. You're going to be agitated. You're going to be anxious. And it's for nothing. Like, you can feel all of those things and get absolutely nowhere. And life is hard. And all your stress is around that you can't pay your bills. You're agitated that you don't know what to do. You got no clarity. You're angry that the government is making it hard for you. You're anxious that you're never going to be able to make money. Life's hard, but also it's hard when you win. But at least you get a destination. At least you get something from it, right? But now you might be stressed about the fact that you've got 22 people in the company to help. Now you might be agitated that other people are so blind to all of this societal program. Now you might be anxious that, oh, I've just wired someone 100K. Is it going to land? When you didn't have a money problem before, you had a no money problem before. Okay. But there is no fulfillment in life without purpose and winning. It's tough either way, but people who say that it's all about the journey, not the destination, the journey is going to be tough either way, but at least make the journey take you somewhere. Think about if you couldn't fail, what would every aspect of your life look like? If you could just click your fingers, this is what I say to some of my clients. If you could just click your fingers and have it all, the body, the mind, the lifestyle, the chick, the business, the numbers you're taking in, the impact, the legacy you're leaving, the kids. What would it look like if you could just have it today, if you had no limiting beliefs and weren't stuck in your own way? Well, that's exactly what you got to go after every single day. And yes, it's going to be tough if you go that way or go that way. But at least if you go that way and it's tough still, at least you're going to get exactly what you want. Why would you want a hard life for fuck all? Okay. That's the number one rule of winning. Winning is life. It has to be your sole focus as a man. The second part about winning is that it requires everything from you. You must be willing to sacrifice literally everything. You know, everybody says, Tom, I hear it all the time, Tom, I'll do whatever it takes, man. As soon as it comes to putting their money where their mouth is, they're not willing to do it. They're not willing to do everything required that they said they would. As soon as it comes to waking up that bit earlier to fit something in their schedule, they're not willing to do it. As soon as they have to stop going to some stupid, simpy social events, they're not willing to do it. You have to be willing to sacrifice everything. You're going to lose friendships. You are going to fall out with family members. You will need to say yes when everybody else says no. You will need to say no when everybody else says yes. And you got to be consistent. It requires 110% from you every single day for life. It's not I do it one day, I do it tomorrow, I do it the day after, and then I stop for a week and then I go again. Winning is a lifestyle. It's more than a set of habits. It's a fucking lifestyle. The second thing, God's plans are bigger than your plans. Yeah? If you simply set your own plans, you understand what you want in life, and you execute on those, you stop being a little fluff and you go all in on achieving everything you want, and you wake up with your sole duty every morning. You go after those dreams, you go after those desires, you align with them, you tap into that consciousness, you tap into that frequency. Every day, no matter what happens, you're going to get hit in the face with a ton of bricks as soon as you win. When you're losing, you're going to get hit in the face with a bag of bricks when you're already down. And it's going to be tough to align. It's going to be tough to get into that frequency. It's going to be tough to get into the assumption of having it and actually fulfill those dreams and desires. But when you do, and you show up persistently, and you improve 1% every single day, and you allow nothing else to happen. You know, I give my clients an either or. So for example, if it was one of my brand clients, I would say, okay, every day you have to collect this amount of new cash. It may be you have to add another 30K of monthly revenue to your business next month in new sales on top of what you're currently doing. So you need 1K in new sales, or you do all of these habits in your business and in your personal life. You're going to hit the gym. You're going to wake up at this time. You're going to do this amount of content. You're going to do all these different things. Either or. You make it impossible to fail, and you do that every day. Guys, when you do that consistently, you are going to experience so much more in life than you could have ever imagined. So much more. God can see much further than you can see. Okay? You're going to have a complete new internal reality. The biggest reward of going after your dreams isn't even it's not even just the desire and the thing you wanted. It's the version of yourself you have when you have achieved that desire and fulfilled that goal. Yeah? At the destination, you get the new material world, but you get the new you at that destination. And that's the fucking result, guys. Right? You're going to have more opportunities thrown at you in life, personal and business. When you look like the man that shows up, you're in great physical shape. You got a savage mindset. You operate from a high level. You're high standard. Okay? Your business is making money. You built your personal brand. People are going to respect you. People are going to present you with opportunities that you never had written down in your book. God will bless you with those. You're going to get the best woman, not just with looks. You're going to get the best woman inside and out. She's going to respect you. You're going to connect with powerful allies. You know, I'm a big believer in winners don't get friends. Winners get allies. You know, people talk about like everything that, you know, there's a great book called Conversations with God, and it talks about relationships. And everything is a trade, right? Now, winners don't want friendships because winners know that friendships, there's no trade, there's no win. Okay. Because what most people deem as a friend is someone, oh, he's funny, he's nice. But all he does is he wastes your fucking time. He lets you lose. He lets himself lose. It's a lose, lose, lose. You need allies. They're going to hold you up to a higher level. Okay. You need allies that are going to make you more money, hold you to a better level, and get you in better shape, who are going to make you level up in your relationship and become a better leader and think bigger and do bigger and compete with you. Some healthy masculine competition. That's a real ally. And when you focus on winning, God brings these allies into your life to make you win more. Winning becomes absolutely effortless once you've just started winning on your own. Now, a bit more controversial. Winning consists of dark thoughts. Yes, it does. When I'm talking with people behind the scenes, this is shit that no one even talks about. They try and give you this polished version of what winning looks like. And, you know, there's all these nice things we can talk about, but here's the real truth. When I go out for dinner, yeah. When I go out for dinner or when I'm networking or when I'm just bump into a guy, there's dark sides to every winner's story. You know, not every day is blue skies and sunshine. It often storms. It storms more than the sun shines. But here's the thing, guys. It's better to have a storm and then elite sun and get a sick tan than it is just to live in the clouds your whole life with no sun and no rain. Yeah, that's the reality most people live in, who just stay in their hometown, who stay average or level up a little bit and then just stop winning. Winning requires good and bad. It's the law of rhythm. It's day and night. It's summer and winter. But you should expect it because it's a law. But you should also expect to cruise through it. You should also expect to absolutely destroy the winter and level up in the winter and just cruise through these storms. You know, when the storm comes, set your sails. Let it take you faster. Let it fuel you. But them days are coming, guys. All winners experience this. It's not just guys who are broke. It doesn't matter whether you're broke or whether you're making millions. You're gonna have these bad days. Like I said here, it doesn't matter how good you are. It doesn't matter how good your habits are. It doesn't matter how much you are respected. Bad times will come, but your mindset around them is different. It has to be. You have to use dark times as an ally again. Also, when it comes to deep and dark thoughts, your deepest desires may be revenges. These need to be used. Don't suppress them. Don't hide from them. These are your turbochargers that you want to use as rocket fuel, and you want to ignite these when required. When you're stuck, like I said, when you get beaten down, there was a time when last year, well, it was nearly 2 years ago now. It was 2 years ago. And my bank account got hacked, just got completely swiped. And I had my apartment to pay for, which is about 16,000 a month when I was at my place in Dubai. Had that to pay for, and I had like 9 grand or something in staff bills. I had 20 something thousand I had to pay. And this was in like 30 hours time. And I was like, well, maybe it'll all come back. Maybe it won't. Depends what the bank can do. But at this point, there was no money there. Okay. And I was like, I have to pay this. Otherwise, I'm out of an apartment, even though I'm making 7 figures. Like, I've just been swiped. And this tapped me into, I had to go into the dark side. I had to turn on these turbochargers, you know, the deepest desires. You know, these people that say you're going to fail, they want to see you fail. Your haters want to see you fail. I was there that night at 8 p.m. I didn't sleep all night. I was like, there is no way anyone is going to watch me fail. There is no way anybody is going to watch me fail. And I sat there on my phone all night and I grinded and I grinded and I grinded. And by the next afternoon, with like 12 hours to spare, I'd already clocked in 24K. And I couldn't process it through Stripe. I couldn't, because in Dubai, you've got like a 10-day window before you get paid out. I had to send it into different bank accounts from customers coming in to do that. And this was driven by these people didn't believe in me. Okay. Let's show you, like, I saw it as a test from God. God was like, Tom, show me who you're fucking made of. You want this fucking trophy? Show me who you're made of. And I was like, fuck you, let's go. I'm going to show you who I'm made of. And this was the first time I actually made a 20K plus day. And I saw that with such a positive light. I could use my dark, competitive, angry thoughts like fuck you energy. Here's another one. Maybe you plan on just destroying all of your competition through your competence. Maybe you got a bit of a kill list. These are the guys at the top. I'm going to fucking destroy them with my competence. I'm going to level up so much. These are deep, dark thoughts. It's a competitive world out there, guys. Guys who are leading. Do you think Elon Musk doesn't want to destroy everybody at the top? Do you think Mark Zuckerberg, Jeff Bezos don't want to wipe out and just eliminate all competition? It's a hyper-competitive world. Do you think Kobe Bryant? Do you think Tiger Woods? Do you think Cristiano Ronaldo doesn't want to absolutely obliterate everybody and just look at them like a stone cold psycho? Of course they do. Tap into your dark side when you need it. When people want to watch you fail, when your competition want to destroy you, destroy them. Maybe you just want to walk into the restaurant and you want status. Nothing wrong with that. Everything comes back to status. Maybe you want to walk in with status mic'd out. Everyone's turning their head. You're walking in with the fittest fucking chick. She's got a little dress on. She's got her tits out. Your arms are looking fucking jacked. You've got a sick outfit on. Aura's on point, and so on. Maybe that's what you want. Maybe that's what you've got to use to drive you through these moments. Okay? Don't think that these dark thoughts, about wanting women, about wanting to destroy competition, about wanting to fucking smash your fucking haters' heads in with just results. Don't think that that's a bad thing. Winners use this to their advantage. It's guys, you got to see it like a tool in the toolbox. Some people could say, yeah, but isn't that like low frequency? No, I don't think it's low frequency. Because the thing is, guys, if you look into the highest version of yourself and where to operate like them, they're going to use every tool in the toolbox. And we know by law that this is a tool in the toolbox. So use it. Now, it's not a state you're going to be in all the time, but when you get smashed down, you better use some dark thoughts to get back out. The next thing, winning means you find pleasure in pain. Winners are different. The average guy, he finds pain painful. Sounds strange. But winners, I can speak very, very certainly on this. These small pains, these daily habits, maybe it's the early wake up at 3:45 a.m. Maybe it's the gym session at 12 out of 10 intensity. Maybe it's just every day of hitting your macros. Maybe it's doing all the tasks in your business that not everyone wants to do. You see these small wins compound into a better physique, into a better mindset, into more self-belief, into the relationship, into attracting allies, into making more money. And you start to associate these small habits, these mental battles, with a bigger outcome. And you start to see how they all add up. And then you start looking for more pain. You've got junction, pain, comfort, and you know that every time you take the pain at the junction, not the comfort, it's more results, and you get obsessed with results. Your mind is stronger than your emotion. Your emotion says go for the comfort, take it easy. Your mind says results. Your mind says results. Your mind says fucking results. Extreme adversity with a psychopathic smile. Now, sometimes, guys, things get very tough. They get very dark. I don't care who you are at whatever level. I don't care if you've made 1 million, 5 million, 1K, 10K, 100K. You're going to have dark times. I don't care if it's from a personal standpoint. I don't care if it's from a business standpoint, relationships failing, losing family members, all sorts of dark stuff. And every single scenario is going to be a little bit different. But winners can make anything that is catastrophic, and they can put a positive light on it. They can find a benefit. Not that it's better it happening, but they can find some positivity to not let it beat them down. You're always spiraling up or you're always spiraling down. Now, this is energy. When you have some extreme adversity, it's a pile of energy, and you can use that pile of energy, that suffering, to send you up, or you can use it to send you down. It's a choice. Now, it doesn't mean it's nice, but winners find something strangely calming when they're walking through extreme adversity. So let's say that time when I had my bank hacked. I was there and it was like, let's see what I'm made of then. Let's see. Numb as anything. And I knew that moment, this was me already at a pretty high level. And I knew that was me at that level. And I knew everyone backs out there. No one does it. Everyone starts ringing their property person saying, I'm not going to be able to pay rent. They start messaging the staff, I'm not going to be able to pay you. Da, da, da. That was never a reality for me. That never even crossed my mind. It was a calm smile at my desk like this. And it was this is where everybody else backs out. And this is where I find a new gear in my own abilities. This is where I find a new level of confidence, where I set myself through pain. I find a new baseline. I find a new way of operating that I do for one day, and now I set as my daily baseline. Knowing that if it's this hard for you, it's going to be this hard for others. 99% of others will quit here, and the competition drops like flies. Every adversity faced is a step into the next round. You've got to see it like elimination. So every time you have one of these tough times, jump in, because you just gone to the next round when everybody else dropped out. Remember, winning is a survival of the fittest. You will never win when you drop out in adversity. You have to stay in the game when you are being scalded. You have to stay in the game when you are being drowned. You have to stay in the face when you are being smashed in the face. It's the last man standing. So when everybody else wants to drop, when your mind wants to drop, just stay in the game and become a psychopath. I like to self-analyze myself sometimes and think, why am I the way I am today? Why do I take things sometimes so extreme just to win, just to achieve everything with my purpose at the highest level? And I thought back to a time of like this inner competitivity within me when I was a kid and I was on holiday in Spain, and there was this really hot drain. There was this really hot drain in the sun. It was like 45 degrees. And there was like me and 6 kids. And we were only probably 6 years old. And there was this drain, so hot. And everyone would walk on the path and around into the pool. And I said, guys, this drain, see how long we can stand on it. And I was only a kid with little soft skin and nothing good about my skin. I didn't have tough feet at the time. I was 6 years old. I said, let's stand on here the longest. We got on, me and all these kids, all these guys. I was like, let's go. And I just looked at them all and I just smiled, and I was like, and inside my feet were burning. And I stayed on, and they all got off, and I stayed on like another fucking 45 seconds. And I got off and my feet were destroyed. I had to get blister plasters, and they were so just painful. But I was like, I will do whatever it takes to win. And like, when I look back, I've always had that. When I was a golfer and I got down to a +4 handicap in golf in a few years, from the age of 14 to 17, I was always the last man standing. Always. When I got my personal training job for the first time, first one in. The gym would open at 6. I would go to a home session at 3:55 a.m. I would finish at 10, and then I would go and train myself till 12:30 at night. I was always the last man standing when it came to my online business. Both of them, coaching and consultancy business. I am always the last man standing, but not just with time, with potency and with mastery. You have to be a psychopath and do what other people won't do. Winning has no finish line. It's a lifetime subscription. Once you begin, guys, you're writing a mental agreement with yourself made of iron. It's one of the rules I talk about in my TP secrets with my clients. I'm like, when you say something, it's done. There is no backing out. And once you say, I am winning, once you say you know your purpose in life, you're allowed to grow your purpose in life. You're allowed to expand your goals, but you can never retract. You set the daily blueprint, you operate at it every day, and you go, and you never miss. It's a subscription for life. And every finish line is followed by a new start line. My mom laughs at me because my mom will be like, "What are you working on, Tom?" And I'll be like, "Oh yeah, I'm actually just building out this because I'm improving one of the products. I've got like 6 weeks where I'm just working on like just absolutely breaking down the mechanism and building all the course and just expanding the program for this one." And she'd be like, "Amazing." She'd be like, "Are you gonna have a couple of weeks and chill and just take it easy then for the year?" And I'd be like, "Yeah, yeah, I'll be faster replying to your messages, mom, when I finish this. The day I finish it, I'll relaunch it. And then I'll be like, next project." In fact, probably 3 days before I even finish it, I plan my next thing. And I get straight into it. It was like, "Oh, you're taking it easy then now because you fit." No, I'm on my next one. Once you climb one mountain, you hike down the back of it, you abseil down, and you immediately, with no rest at the top, you begin your next ascent up the next mountain in the never ending mountain range. It's a mountain range that goes on forever. It's a map that never ends. You go up, you don't stop, you come down, you fuck up your knees on the way down, and you go back up. You know, when it comes to business, you make your first K, you reinvest all of it back into your growth, you go back to zero, and you use that money as a supercharger of energy to grow you, to grow your business. You make your first 10K a month, you reinvest it all back into your growth, back to zero, so you can get to the 100. You get to the 100, you reinvest it all back into you, back into your growth, and go back to zero so you can make your million. It requires everything. You hit 10K, 10K is not, you don't get complacent. By the time you got to 6, you've already planned that you want 40. This is the reality of winning. This is the conversations that goes on when I go out for dinner. Doesn't matter whether someone's at 10K and obsessed with getting to 100K, whether someone's, in good shape and they just want to take it savage and they want to max out the testosterone and they want to biohack and they just want to have the best cognitive function ever. It's just like, what can I do? How high can I operate? People become obsessed with not just what can they get away with, what's the bare minimum they can do to get a result. It's what can I tolerate and how can I increase what I tolerate? And then just find new levels. You hit your goal and then that becomes your baseline. You go again into the next one. Winning only cares about who, not how. And winning knows all of your secrets. When you snooze that alarm in the morning at 4 a.m., winning is watching you. I see winning a little bit like God. Winning is determined by God. And God and winning, it's giving the trophy to someone else right now. If you're watching this video, I guarantee you, it's giving the trophy to someone else who is already hitting your goals because they had the winning mindset. They did what was required. When you train and you go through the motions and you train at 70% intensity, like a mishmash mosh session, winning is watching you. God is deciding that you're not worthy of winning, and that's why you're not winning. He's giving the trophy someone else. When you scroll the algorithm like a bot and you get caught up, like all of this societal programming, like they want you stuck in the system, God is watching you. He's not letting you win because you don't deserve it. He's giving the trophy someone else. And you should fear winning, guys. You should fear it because it's your ally. Winning sees everything. You have eyes on you at all time. Think about it like winning is up at the alignment. Winning is up in the frequency of winning. Almost like Assassin's Creed, and there's like that other like translucent character of you. Like he's up there winning, and he's looking back at you like, bro, you need to get into this body. You need to get into these habits. You need to get into these belief systems. You need to make decisions like me. You need to spend and invest your money like me. You need to operate like me. You need to stop simping around. Winning sees everything and it is laughing at you. And the fear of knowing this, knowing that it is keeping the trophy away from you, it's giving it to somebody else until you truly align the mental syntax, the belief systems, the physiology, the habits of a winner, not for one day, not for 1 week, but for months, for years, for decades. That should be your driving force to attack every single day at 110%. And winning takes you through hell, guys. And if you break the agreement, You break the agreement with winning, you will pay the ultimate consequence. By this, what do I mean? If you say you're going to win, you're going to be a winner, you're going to go after it, you're not going to operate like a simp, and you stop, you're going to pay the price. If you win once and you get to 10 grand a month and you stop, you're going to pay the price. If you get in shape once and then you retract back, you're going to pay the price, because winning is everything. Winning is one mountain and then another. Winning is a lifestyle. It's not something you do once. Winning is a lifestyle. And it's going to take you through hell to get to heaven. But if you stop whilst you're in hell, you stop when it's difficult, you choose comfort, you're going to be left in hell. Your life is going to be the sacrifice. Your heart is going to know that you didn't follow through. And you have to live with that every single day. And you can try and cover it up with your insecurities and with your little excuses as much as you want. But there is, again, I was reading a book. Again, it was Conversations with God. And it talks about the biggest misconception that people have about heaven and hell. People think that hell is somewhere you go after you've passed away. Hell is the life that you will remain stuck in whilst alive for not following your purpose, for not going all in. As a consequence of living out of alignment, you will stay in hell. Now, everybody has to go through hell, but you will stay there if you live in unalignment. You have to align out. I see this a little bit like, there's a story about the bulls. And I think the cows, basically, the clouds come over the top. And the clouds are going this way. And what the cows do is they turn and they go at the same speed, like 5 miles an hour with the clouds. And basically, they stay under the clouds the whole time. They choose comfort. They just start walking away from this pain. They try and avoid it. But they stay under it the whole time and they stay in hell. Whereas the bull mindset is, okay, where's the storm coming from? Okay, it's coming this way. It's coming at us. Let's face it head on and just run at it like a psychopath. Let's get into the deep, dark grittiness of this storm. Let's get fucking soaking. Let's get cold and run and charge through it and beat it and destroy this fucking storm. And they get out the other side. And the storm has gone and they're there in the sun and it's shining. Meanwhile, the cows staying in the clouds forever. Never break your commitment to winning. You must win. You must be aggressive. You must just charge through every day. Winning is a sprint that never ends. It's a series of sprints. It's sprint, sprint, sprint. You cross the finish line, there's a new start line. You must walk in faith. You must act boldly, and you must remain persistent every day until you have executed a goal. Then you have to repeat it for the next time and the next time and the next time, forever. That is what is required, guys.